Hi everybody. Well, probably the most requested topic that people want me to talk about are my favorite topic, shoes. So these are my current favorites, and why is that? These are the Nike Vapor Max, and there's two different kinds of Vapor Max. These are the cheaper ones at about $150 retail. Of course, I worked at a running store so I could support my habit, and I learned a lot about running shoes. And one thing that's really important is to date them, as you can see I've done here. And it just helps you to keep track of how long you've been running or working out in a shoe. And they say, the experts, 300 miles or 3 months, whichever comes first. For me, it's usually about 3 months. So one of the things you look for is wear and tear, especially on this kind of a shoe. They've come out with so many wonderful foams now, but I don't know if you can see how kind of squished down it is. So it was time for me to replace this shoe. So there, I think you can see that better there, how squished down. I mean, it's great because it saves your body from impact. You know, concrete is just a 100-year-old invention, not really meant for the human skeleton. So if you want to enjoy a long fitness career, it's important to have good shoes. Now, my really, really favorite and really expensive shoes that I wear for racing are the very lightweight version of the shoe I just showed you. These are the Zoom Fly 4%, and it says that in the tiny, tiny writing right there, and it says certified with medals and records, will improve, reassured in the, well, I can't read that, but I think I've worn it too much, it's compressed, but basically Nike claims that this shoe will improve your, I think it's a marathon time by 4%. Now, I don't do many marathons anymore, so it's hard for me to know. My times definitely have improved in the last 2 years. Is it from these shoes? What makes them so special and expensive is that they are very, very lightweight, and it doesn't feel like you have shoes on except for the cushioning that you get there, so I really like that. Another shoe that's very popular, and I've used these in the past, are the Hokas, very cushioned. You know, used to be the barefoot minimalist thing was going around, and then people started having stress fractures, third metatarsal arch, I did that. So cushion is back in with a vengeance, and Hoka was really, I think, the first company to start with these incredible foam cushions here, and you would think this would be like terrible to run in and clunky, but it's not. Very lightweight. We got a lot of nurses and firefighters wearing these all day on concrete, but also endurance runners actually started wearing them, and that's where they got their birth and start. The only thing with the Hokas is that they only have a 4% drop. That means the drop is the measured distance from basically the heel, and I'm not sure where they measure it here, down to the forefoot, somewhere in there. And so for those of us who maybe are a little tight in the heel, having a minimal drop like that can be painful in the long run. And I started experiencing heel pain and came back to shoes like Nike and Asics and some other brands, Brooks out there, have more, or actually less of a drop. So they have like a 10% drop. And that's, that the whole thing that you hear in the minimalist shoe movement is trying to go for a 0 drop. And for me, that just didn't work. For various reasons, and you could do like an hour-long program on that. But finding what's right for you, you just have to experiment with these, and I have done my share of shoe buying, and as I always say, it's cheaper than bypass. So whatever works for you. If you have any questions about it, give me a comment or question below. Gotta run.